Hi guys, this is Donna with Love Rocks, and today we've got a baby sea turtle. So let's get started. First, I want to tell everybody thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe now. It will do two things. The first thing is it'll make sure that you always get notification of a new video, and the second thing is if you want to be in the drawing for this rock, you have to subscribe or already have a subscription, as well as comment under the video. So let's get started. I only used about 4 or 5 colors on this. I show them at the beginning of this video. I am going to start putting those in the description, the exact colors. So if you missed it, don't worry, it'll be in the subscription and you'll be able to find them. Again, as with all of my videos, you can use any colors that you want. The colors that I put on here are just what I've used and my suggestions, but please make it your own and put in whatever colors you like. That's part of the whole process. So I was trying to put the sketch on here when I was sketching it so you could see how easy this one is to sketch. But I did not get it for some reason. I'm not sure why it did not record. But from this point forward, I'm going to try to show you how to sketch these things. It seems to be the one question I get in the comments the most. So if you have to, pause it at the very beginning where the sketch is so that you've got a good idea of how to sketch it. It really is an easy one to sketch. As far as painting, I started with the darker blues and I outlined everything with that. The reason being, especially on the shell, is that as you outline that and that dries and you're putting the other colors in, you already have your basic shading areas, and so it just helps with shading. So that's why I use the darker color to outline all of the different pieces on his shell. This is the first sea turtle I ever did, so I'm hoping as I do more, they'll look a little bit more round. I had a little bit of trouble with the shell. You'll see that I changed the colors on it a couple of times, but again, I had never tried one, so this was my first attempt, and I will probably, he was really fun. I will probably do a couple more of these. This one is more of a cartoony type sea turtle. It was not meant to look like a real sea turtle. And so he's got the big eyes with the overlap of the eyelids, and that was my intent. I actually got the inspiration for this off of a plush looking stuffed animal that I saw. I was trying to find something that I liked and couldn't find anything, and I actually came across a stuffed animal, and I was like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I sketched him off of a stuffed animal that I saw on some website. So you can get your inspirations from anything. Just make sure that if you get it off of somebody else's painting that you do, add that to your anything that you post. So I went in with the navy blue, or it was a dark blue. I don't think it was a navy blue. And then I put in the turquoise, and then I put in the purple. And I wanted those to shade together. So I did use a little bit of water, almost like you would a watercolor, to kind of make those colors blend. They weren't quite blending as well as I wanted to. They were drying really fast. It's getting warmer here in Texas, and the fans are all on, so my paints were drying really fast. And so I did have to kind of play with those little tiny dots a little bit, trying to get all those colors to fade into each other. But eventually I did. The purple I wound up adding a tiny bit of white to lighten it up. I had probably picked a little bit too dark of a color when I grabbed the purple, but I added just a tiny bit of white and went back in with it real wet, and I was able to bring that purple color out a little bit better. I have seen a million sea turtles that people have painted, and there are some really great colors out there. This one, I could have went with some more like metallic colors, something that was a little brighter, but I just wanted to get the concept, and I truly wanted to just try and see if I could make a sea turtle look like a sea turtle. So my paintings are not by any means at the level of a professional, so I hope you don't expect that. But I guess I just want people to see that I don't care how much experience you have. You can take anything and you can try it and you can do it. And you don't have to be at that level. I saw another post this week of a lady that said she had gotten her paints and her brushes. She had ordered rocks, and they were still sitting on her desk because she was so scared to start. That just breaks my heart. You know, I want people to know that the things that you see on these groups and the things that you see on the internet, those are not expectations of everybody. Those are expectations of a very small group of professional painters. And while I give them kudos for the time that they've spent to learn to do that and the skill that they have obtained to do that, I give them all the respect in the world. But those are not the expectations of the other 95% of us. So I hope that when you come to this channel, you realize that I do some little more difficult ones and I do some easier ones in order for people to gain that confidence to try anything. Please don't let your paints and rocks sit in a corner because you're terrified to not be able to stand up to that expectation. Pick them up, get your paintbrushes and jump in. I tell everybody, it is a rock. And if you don't like it, you hide it. If you think it's too bad to hide, you paint over it and you do it again. Please don't let what you see on these groups or on the internet keep you from taking that next step. There is so much peace and so much enjoyment from painting rocks that I hate to see anybody lose themselves in the anxiety of not standing up to what we're seeing out there. And I hope that even if there is something that I paint that you really think that you cannot do, that you at least take an hour of your day, sometime when you don't have anything else going on, and just try it. Again, if you don't like it, paint over it. Paint over it with some black, put a cute little smiley face on it or a flower, write some beautiful little saying on it, and hide that rock. And I will promise you, if you attempt some of these more difficult paintings 2, 3, 4 times, every single solitary time that you try it, you are going to get better at something. You're going to get better at shading. You're going to get better at sketching. You're going to get better at finding the color that you want or the colors that you don't like. You know, there's certain colors. I have a yellow, it's a yellow orange that I picked out when I was in the store, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago. And I thought, man, that is really a pretty color. I don't care what rock I put it on. That is the ugliest color I have ever seen. And so it has moved to the back of the box. Like, just know that there are no mistakes in rock painting. There are none. At some point, I will find something that color is perfect for. But until then, not a big deal. I put it in the back of the box. And it's the same with sketching and painting. Every time you do it, you're going to find something a little bit that you do a little bit better each time. So pick up those brushes, pick up your paints, and try it. I'm starting to do some reels on my Instagram, and I put out a reel this week, both on my Facebook and Instagram, of hiding rocks. I hope that we don't get so busy trying to make these little baby masterpieces that you don't find time to do the hiding. It's the best part. I love to hide the rocks. And between what's been going on here at my house, which is a lot of construction, I will let you know that is getting better. We're almost done with the inside of the house and getting ready to start on the outside of the house. But I haven't had a lot of time to do hiding rocks, and I made the time this week. It was a busy week. I worked 40 hours on top of having 3 construction crews inside my home, and I work at home. I don't know if you know that or not, but with all of that going on, I took an evening and I did paint some rocks, and we had to make a trip into one of the cities here and go to one of the big boxes and get some supplies for the construction. So I did do some hiding, and on the drive back, it reminded me of why I started this. I love to hide rocks. I love leaving rocks for people to find. One person commented, I never hear back from people. I don't either. I maybe hear back 5% of the time for my hidden rocks. But I can tell you that the people that I do hear back from, they are so happy. And it's always the same thing. I was having such a bad day, and I found this rock, and it made me smile, and thank you so much. Like, it's always that kind of reaction when they find these rocks. So please take the time to hide rocks. It's the reason that we do this. I hope it's the reason that you do this. It just, in a world that isn't always so happy and there isn't always good things going on, it just brings a little more sweetness and a little more compassion and a little more humility to this world. And I hope that you see that, and I hope that you take the time to do that. So yes, I only hear from about 5%, but in my heart, I know that the people who found those rocks, they enjoyed them. So if you get on my Facebook, please post your rocks. I would love to see what everybody's doing. Don't be discouraged or worried that it's not going to look the best, or you're afraid to post them. I want to see your rocks. It gives me a lot of enjoyment seeing everybody else's rocks. If you don't do Facebook, I do have an Instagram. It's under Love Rocks, and you can jump on there, and we do stuff on there as well. So I hope that as you're working on this little guy, you see that I jumped around a lot on him. I wasn't very consistent with, working from the head to the tail, but it was because I had never done one before, and I would get partway through something and I would be like, oh, I forgot to shade there. Oh, I forgot to put a little bit of highlight there. Oh, this would look better if I did this. So hopefully, as you're working through this, it doesn't feel too chaotic. But he was a lot of fun. He really was. And I hope that you know that you can paint off of anything. I've been pulling some adult color book pictures because, man, I didn't even know these things were out there. These adult coloring books have some amazing pictures, amazing sketches on there. And you can take 2 or 3 different things, and they've got great ideas. You can download them, you can buy them. So that's another place. If you like to do what I consider non-lifelike pictures, you know, there's a million people out there that paint realistic and lifelike animals, and I've done a few in here, but that's really not the ones that I love to do. I love to do my gnomes, and I love to do these types of characters. So I hope that you find your little niche and the things that you enjoy doing, and stick to that. Don't let anybody push you into anything else. And please try some of these. These are so much fun. Don't let your stuff sit in the corner, because it really, really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You need to get in there and find that hour of relaxation while you're painting. And again, if you hate it when you get done, paint over it. Toss it. Hide it. It doesn't matter. If you do hide rocks, you are welcome to put my Facebook on there, and people can post it back to the Facebook if you don't have one to post it on. Otherwise, I just want you to enjoy these. Well, he turned out pretty good for a first one. Please come back, watch some more videos, enjoy. You can share this to any of your social media, and have a great week.